Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to continue with my series entitled Rhythm Exercises. These are studies in blues guitar rhythmic phrasing. First I'll perform rhythm exercise in the key of E number 11, and then I'll break it down for you. Here we go. I hope you enjoy it. Alright, let's break down rhythm exercise in the key of E number 11. In these exercises, we go back and forth from lead guitar to rhythm guitar within the span of a 12-bar blues. We've divided that 12 bars into 6 2-bar phrases, and each 2-bar phrase will use the exact same rhythm. The rhythm for our example today is triplet, 2 and triplet, triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we'll be playing lead guitar over the first bar and into the first eighth note of the second bar, and then we'll come in on the rhythm guitar pattern, which is known as your Chuck Berry or Jimmy Reed style rhythm guitar. So we'll be playing the lead over triplet, 2 and triplet, triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and notice I entered in on the rhythm guitar in that second bar. Also note that I chopped the first eighth note of the rhythm guitar pattern that would normally sound like this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but I'm playing lead guitar over that first eighth note, so I had to chop that out of the rhythm guitar pattern. Now that we've looked at the rhythm, let's go to the scale portion of the exercise. We'll be playing out of the E blues scale at the 7th fret. So the octave pattern looks like this. Here's E and E. And for those of you studying caged, if you know what that is, this is the A-shaped octave. So we are playing a E blues scale. That is our root E. And remember that the blues scale is the same as the minor pentatonic with the addition of the blue note. So sometimes those terms get used interchangeably. The pattern that we're playing out of today looks like this. We will also be using the E major pentatonic at this part of the neck. Again, the octave pattern for E is the same. So this would be your caged A form. And here is the E major pentatonic. Now that we've looked at the scales and the rhythm, let's go to part 1. Here's phrase 1, triplet, 2 and triplet, triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're starting off in the first triplet. We're using chord tones. We're actually starting on the minor third, but it's an approach into the major third of the chord. Triplet, and it ends up on the 7 or the flatted 7 of our chord. So here's an E7. So imagine there's the 7, and here's an E chord you might already know. This is the G sharp, the third. So we're using the third here and the 7 here. So we're using these notes to outline our chord. Triplet, that's the first triplet, and then we come down. That's 2 and then we have triplet, and then we're going to use a pull off here on the third string, triplet, and then we end on the root E. Let's put that together. note that we went down to the rhythm guitar pattern and we came in on the and of 1 for that. So triplet, 2 and triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Here's part 2. Triplet, 2 and triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're starting on the 3rd string with the root of the chord E, and we're pulling off to the flatted 7 of the chord, and then we're playing B here. This is the 5th of the chord. So we're using chord tones. This is all in our minor pentatonic. And then that's the first triplet, and then we have 2 and. So in the second beat, we're using a part of the major pentatonic scale. So we have the 6th from the major pentatonic, back up to the root. And then our next triplet is on the B string, and this is a chromatic passage that integrates the major and minor pentatonic. So we're starting on the 2nd, then the flat 3, and then the 3. So we go, that's our triplet. So, and then our next triplet is on the high E string, and we start here on the 5th, and then the 6th from the major pentatonic, and then the 7th from the minor pentatonic. So this is a triplet. And then we bend to the root on beat 1. So this is a whole step bend. So let's put that together. Here's part 3. So we're starting off at the 7th fret. Our first triplet's like this. And we're using notes that are in the E major and minor pentatonic, but they work well against the A chord here. We are on the 4-chord A7. So I'm kind of choosing these notes because they work well on A7. This is actually the 9th, so you can imagine like an A9. This would be the 9th of the A9th chord. And then this is a G, this is the flatted 7. And this note works well on the A because it's the 6th of A. So that's our first triplet. And then we're working with the pentatonic here, the E major pentatonic, but these two notes are actually part of the A chord. They're actually the 5th and the 3rd of the A chord, so they help outline the 4-chord change. And then we go to another triplet. This triplet has a pull off, so I'm pulling off here between the 8th and 7th fret on the B string, triplet. And then the next triplet starts at the 8th fret, triplet. And then I resolve here to C sharp. Now that's a timely resolve because that is a chord tone of A. If you imagine like an 8-bar chord here, that's the 3rd of the chord, so we're using chord tones of A here. And so after the lick, we go to the comping. And the comping now is on A because we're on the A7th chord. On to part 4. Here's part 4. Triplet, 2 and triplet, triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're back on the E7th chord here. That's the 1 chord, and we're starting with a whole step bend on the 2nd string. So I'm bending the 10th fret up a whole step, and I'm bending into a chord tone again. Here I'm bending into the 5th of an E chord. and then I'm playing the flatted 7 of the E chord here, and then another bend into the 5th. So you can kind of let that run together if you want. Triplet. So that's the first triplet, and then I'm playing those are part of the minor pentatonic. So I'm coming down the scale on beat 2 and then the next triplet I'm going dropping down to the 5th fret on the 4th string, and I'm approaching into the major third from the minor third. So we're mixing the pentatonics here. So that's my triplet on beat 3, triplet, and then my next triplet on beat 4 uses the 6th from the major pentatonic, and then we end on the root E. Triplet, triplet. Those are the last 2 triplets, and then we drop into the comping or the accompaniment pattern on E again. 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's put that together one more time. On to part 5. Here's part 5. Triplet 2 and triplet, triplet 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So in part 5 we're playing around the 5 chord, that's B7. So I'm choosing my notes carefully here because I'm trying to outline the B7th chord. So I'm choosing notes relative to B7. I start with this double stop triplet, and these notes are in the E major pentatonic, but they are part of the B chord. So if you imagine like a B chord like this, these are the root and the 5th of the B chord. So I'm using them in a double stop, triplet, and then I'm bending to B on the 2nd string, 2 and then that's followed by me playing the note B here on the 1st string. So triplet, 2 and then the next 2 triplets are the same. We're bending to B and then playing the fingered B, triplet, triplet, and then the last note is the 7 of the B7th chord. So this is an A note, so it is the flatted 7. If you imagine like a B7 bar chord, there is the 7A. So at that point we go to our rhythm guitar accompaniment, and I'm choosing to play it here at the 7th fret because it's closer to where we're playing the lead guitar. So we're going to be doing. If you wanted to move down to 2nd fret, you could do that, although it's a wider stretch and it's out of position, so my recommendation is to hang here at the 7th fret. Let's put part 5 together. Now for the last part. Here's part 6. Triplet 2 and triplet, triplet 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're starting with a whole step bend to the 5th of our chord, and we're at the 10th fret here with a whole bend. So we have triplet 2 and we're coming right down the minor pentatonic scale. Then we jump to the 4th string and we play a triplet, incorporating the blue note, triplet. And then our next triplet starts with a quarter bend, and this is a bend from the minor third toward the major third, and it's microtonal, so it's between this note and this note. It's in between. It's a very typical blues inflection, and so it's sort of a very murky third. So it starts the triplet, triplet, and then we end on the root. At that point, then we go to comping. And 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's hear that one more time. That's it for rhythm exercise in the key of E number 11. I'm Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music, and I hope to see you back on my channel soon.